Dolphins had just 61 yards of offense in the second half, and they still find a way to win.
Miami has the Dolphins, the greatest football team. We take the ball from goal to goal like no one's ever seen. We're in the air, we're on the ground, we're always in control. And when you say Miami,
we're talking Super Bowl.
We're the Miami Dolphins.
Sing it, baby, sing it.
Dolphins, Miami Dolphins #1. Oh, yeah. Miami Dolphins, Miami Dolphins #1.
All right, the Miami Dolphins win. An ugly win, but we'll take it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Mikey Mike?
We will take it. We'll take it every day on the week and twice on Sunday.
Let it play a little bit. Get us in the mood of the show, you know? We did win, even though it seemed like we lost, but we did win.
Yeah.
Welcome to the show, the John Ed Show, right here on 247miami.tv. Catch us on YouTube right now. Go to the website, www.247miami.tv. You catch us right there. And also, if you're riding around with your windows down, like the Mad Dog used to say, go on your TuneIn app, search 247 Miami, and you can listen to the show. It is Monday, and a lot of things to get into. Busy weekend in sports, basketball, college football, NFL. A couple things that are going around in the city here. Talking about the city of Miami, the 305. And we'll get to that a little later. But the theme of the show is, did the Miami Hurricanes make the right choice in hiring Mark Richt as their next head coach? That's going to be the theme of the show. Did the University of Miami make the right choice in hiring Mark Richt as their next head football coach? And we'll talk to Troy Hall at 3:30, and he's going to give us his thoughts and opinions on the hiring of Mark Richt. And then the sub thing, Mikey Mike, who's producing the show as always, doing a great job. He came up with congratulations, man. You came up with some highlights in the Dolphins fight song.
Yeah.
Each week the show is getting better and better and better.
Yeah. For those of you who don't know, the CSB studio that we broadcast from, there's only one of them in the school.
Mm-hmm.
So I had to get here early, throw together that little highlight clip.
There you go.
And then had to rush into the next gen to throw it into the computer because the morning class was still in here and they linger around till like 2 o'clock because today's also their radio class.
Of course.
So, I got to throw everything in here before 3 o'clock and get the camera set up and everything.
So shout out to CSB right here in Doral.
I love this school.
Connecticut School of Broadcasting. There's different campuses all around the city here, but the one we broadcast from is the one here in Doral. And they finally, and I tweeted this out a little earlier, Mikey Mike, I don't know if you come down 87th Avenue, but the construction is done there. Before they had some serious construction right there on the intersection of 87th Avenue and, what's the name of that street there? Heading over, like if you're going north on 87th Avenue, there's a street there right by Alf's Golf Shop, where Alf's Golf Shop used to be at. And there used to be some heavy construction going on there, and they used to tie up traffic, and it was horrible. It took forever to get here, but finally, that construction is gone. So I got here pretty fast. So thank God for that, because man, the traffic here in Miami is just horrible, and on the highways, on the 836 and 95, the city's getting bigger and bigger. Mm-hmm. More traffic, more construction. We need more roads down here. So those who live down here in the 305 know what I'm talking about.
And not to mention all the rain that's
my God.
going on.
There you go. Thanks for bringing that up.
It's just pouring.
I think it's rained for the last 10 days straight. I think in Kendall there's people in their canoes.
Yeah.
I saw on the news yesterday.
I got an update on my phone right when I got to school today, saying that there was like flooding in the Zoo Miami, and that like it affected like the lion's den.
Stop it!
No, I swear.
But you don't live that deep in Kendall, right? You live more.
No, I live on the street of the zoo.
No way.
Yeah.
Are you serious?
Yeah, way out west.
That's a hike, man.
Same street, but way out west.
Wow. Did you get any flooding around your house?
I mean, no, not really. I mean, when I was driving to school, I mean, I didn't really notice everything was a little wet, but I mean, nothing major.
But I did see in the news earlier.
But I found it funny on my phone that, like it affected, like, I guess the lion part of the zoo.
I did see some people in canoes in Kendall there. That's how Kendall must be a low part of Miami, because there's a lot of flooding that goes on. And also up in the Miami Shores area, there's a lot of flooding up there too. But the sub theme of the show, Mikey and Mike, and I came up with this one: should the Dolphins consider trading Ryan Tannehill?
I mean, you should always consider it. I mean, I don't know what the heck they're gonna get for him. Not much.
I think they should. Well, we'll
if
get to it later on during the show. But
if you want to do the what did Chip Kelly what was the Chip Kelly Sam Bradford trade and the Nick Foles thing? Did they give up like a first round pick or something?
I know there was some picks involved.
I think there was a first round pick involved.
Who came out on top in that
I think
trade?
they gave.
Who came out on top? Nick Foles is horrible with the Rams.
Even in that one.
Yeah.
Well, maybe I guess the Rams suffered with that one.
Yeah.
I guess. I mean, but the Eagles didn't get much.
Hey, but the Eagles won yesterday.
Did they give up a first round pick?
I'm not sure. We have to look that one up.
And I think they gave.
I know they gave up some type of draft picks, but I'm not sure if it was a first rounder.
I want to say they gave the Rams a first rounder and Nick Foles for Sam Bradford.
Really? Wow.
I want to say that's correct.
Hey, Bradford, they won yesterday. They beat the Patriots, even though the Patriots are playing with no Gronk, no Amendola. They're pretty hurt.
Yeah. But oh my God, that game, it could have went either way.
I saw only the fourth quarter of that game.
Yeah.
We went out to Texas Roadhouse. You ever been to Texas Roadhouse? That new restaurant? It's nice.
I went to the old Texas Roadhouse on like Sunset and.
There's a new one right there on Flagler. For those who live in Miami, know what I'm talking about. Southwest Miami area on Flagler and 92nd Avenue. There's a nice Texas Roadhouse. There's a new one. It was packed, man. Packed.
With the all-you-can-eat ribs.
All you can eat ribs. I had the chicken portobello with a loaded baked potato. The kids were eating hamburgers and all that stuff.
The Roadhouse I went to, like back in the day.
You probably went to the Roadhouse Grill. This is Texas Roadhouse.
Oh well, then no.
With the peanut shells everywhere. You get to get.
No, it was the same thing.
Yeah, but I guess they changed the name of that.
Yeah, maybe. But I mean, I remember I was in high school.
Yeah.
And I think it was like my senior. It was probably like my junior year on the football team.
Mm-hmm.
And one night, me and my parents went to Roadhouse, and I ate the all-you-can-eat ribs.
Oh.
And the next morning, I just threw up.
You had diarrhea?
Over the place. No, I just threw it. No diarrhea. Just
all you can eat ribs.
Oh,
that sounds disgusting.
I still had to go to practice.
Sounds disgusting. All right, the theme of the show: did the University of Miami make the right choice in hiring Mark Richt as their next head football coach? And also the sub theme. We'll talk a little bit about this in the last segment of the show. We're going to talk Dolphins. Should the Dolphins consider trading Ryan Tannehill? Even though Ryan Tannehill did have, they did come out with a win, but he had a horrible game.
Horrible.
And I had the.
What was it, 46 yards?
Oh God, I got the statistics right here in front of me. Where are they? Here you go, Miami Dolphins. All right, Tannehill, 9 for 19 for 86 yards. Did have a nice throw to Devontae Parker, his second touchdown of his career. But, man, I don't know. It looks bad. It looks really bad. So they gave him all that money, and we'll break it down in our last segment. So what a great weekend in sports. It all started on Thursday. The rumors were flying around that Mark Richt was going to come to Miami to become the head coach of the U. And finally on Friday, it was confirmed through a press conference at the university that Mark Richt is going to accept the job, the new position at the University of Miami. He became the 24th head coach at the University of Miami. And I was pretty happy. And we'll talk to Troy Hall at 3:30. And he's going to give us his thoughts and his opinions on the hiring of Mark Richt. Then on Thursday night, the Heat faced off versus the Oklahoma City Thunders. And OKC came in they came in, into Miami red hot. And Wade had an incredible night, scoring 30 points to a 97-95 victory over OKC. Then on Friday, the MAC championship title game was on. Bowling Green State University defeats Northern Illinois 39-14. And that was one. It wasn't one of Troy Hall's picks, but he did like that game. He told me, tweeted. I'm sorry. He texted me and let me know that he loved Bowling Green, and they did cover. They beat Northern Illinois 39. Was it 39 or 34-14? Something like that. I think it's 34-14. Dino Babers, who was Bowling Green State University's coach, that was his last game. There was a press conference on today where he becomes the Syracuse next head football coach. So Troy Hall's very excited about that. He's from Syracuse. He's from upstate New York, and he's going to talk a little bit about that around in our 3:30 segment. Now we jump into the weekend. Saturday was a treat for those who love college football. Starting at 12 o'clock, it was unbelievable. We had Texas versus Baylor. Texas wins one for Charlie Strong, 23-17 in a close game there. Texas did come out strong early. But Baylor at the end, they're playing with their 4th-string quarterback, who was a wide receiver. Came in and he did a good job for being a 4th-string quarterback, and he brought him back. It was a close game at the end, but the Texas Longhorns did come up with the victory there, 23-17.
I'm sure we've seen that story before.
What's that?
About a wide receiver becoming a quarterback.
Good point there. Good point. And then, we had James was in here earlier saying that he doesn't like Tannehill because that tells you something. Was he a wide receiver first or was he a quarterback first?
Well, in high school he was a quarterback.
Okay.
And then in college, I guess they had the quarterbacks that when he went to Texas A&M.
Mm-hmm. And we're talking about Ryan Tannehill.
Yeah. I guess when he went to Texas A&M, I guess they already had quarterbacks that they already liked on the roster, but they still wanted to keep Tannehill. So they're like, okay, well, where can we put him?
Right.
That'll fit him. So I guess they put him out as a wide receiver for the time being.
Mm-hmm.
And then when it was his shot, they made him quarterback. And
Mike Sherman was the head coach at Texas A&M, and he became the offensive coordinator with the Dolphins with Sparano, right? Was it Sparano?
No, it was Philbin.
With Philbin. So
and Sherman brought also his brother-in-law, Zach Taylor, quarterbacks coach and play caller now.
I want to bring this up to you before I forget. We got to put this into perspective too here, Mikey. Mike, you're a big Dolphin fan, so am I. But the Dolphins, when it comes to coaches, all these coaches are brand new, man. Nobody's bringing that up.
Yeah.
Campbell never been a head coach before. Zach Taylor, his first game as offensive coordinator, gets thrown in there. They fire Kevin Coyle, and they bring in, I'm not even sure if the defensive coordinator of the Dolphins now, what's his name, or starts with an A?
Anarumo
or something like that. I'm not even sure if he's ever been a defensive coordinator. So the Dolphins are playing. They're coming to play on Sunday with brand new coordinators, brand new coaches. I'm not saying it's an excuse, but can we use that as an excuse sometimes?
Well, we definitely can, because this isn't.
And Campbell's made a lot of mistakes already. We it's been documented. We've seen it that he's made a lot of mistakes.
I don't know. I can't really hate on Campbell because one, we forget, although he has been the coach for most of the season,
right? We
forget that he wasn't originally the coach this offseason.
Right.
They had a totally different staff. These guys that, were promoted were part of the staff, but they already fired the head coach. They fired the offensive coordinator. They fired the defensive coordinator.
Right.
These aren't his guys, and he's trying to make the best of what he has. And I know Campbell does have his shortcomings. I'm not sure how good he is at X's and O's, but he has a philosophy and he has leadership qualities, and he's very honest with the media. Like he'll tell the media what he wants to do. Mm-hmm. That's part of his philosophy, and then he'll change it up, and you'll see it in the game. Like he wanted to run the ball the entire time he's been promoted because he knows it helps Ryan Tannehill, and Bill Lazor did that for the first 2 games and then went away from him.
Yep.
And it frustrated him, and he got rid of Lazor because he wouldn't commit to the one. Mm-hmm. So now he's got Zach Taylor, and you see it in the Ravens game, committed to the run, and oh my God, what a surprise. The Dolphins won by running the ball again. So
Miller had 137 yards rushing.
Yeah. So I like what Dan Campbell.
But he's not going to be the next head coach.
Who knows? You don't know. Like, unless the Dolphins could get like a big name coach like Sean Payton, I can see Dan Campbell staying here unless Tannenbaum hires Mangini, which
what? Where'd you hear that from?
I don't know. I hear rumors about that all the time.
Mangini? Are you serious?
I hate Mangini.
Of course.
Mangina. Not Mangini, it's Mangina. That's what he is.
Come on, man.
I don't care for Mangini. If they hire Mangini as a coach, they might as well call next season over too.
They might as well hire Mike Shula, who's the offensive coordinator with Carolina, to come and coach the team.
I hear like Mike Shula's a hot name, and then I hear maybe he doesn't have that capability of leading the entire team.
He's more of a coordinator in my. He's he was the head coach at Alabama, and he got tossed after I don't know how many years, 2 or 3 years. I think he's just a coordinator, but I like the only name.
Brilliant coordinator.
Of course.
He took no receivers on that team. Like you pretty much thought when Travis Benjamin was not Travis.
Kelvin Benjamin.
Calvin.
I don't know.
I don't know,
Benjamin.
The Benjamin.
Whatever.
On the Carolina Panthers, the big time guy that got hurt against the scrimmage in the scrimmage against the
Right.
Dolphins.
Mhm.
Once he went down, you're looking all over the place for these receivers on the Carolina Panthers.
Yeah.
And you couldn't find them. And somehow he worked a miracle by making each receiver fit into that scheme.
I can't name
and
one
have 'em-
receiver that the
they're
Panthers
still
have.
an undefeated team, right?
Yeah, they're undefeated,
Yeah.
man. They're undefeated. And
And-
I agree with you.
But yeah, okay. Going back to my point, if it comes down to Dan Campbell and my Mangina, like you might as well just keep Dan Campbell because
For
he already
sure.
has the hearts of
Yeah.
the players on that team.
Yeah.
He's got his shortcomings, but he has a philosophy, and his philosophy works when he's got people who want to commit.
But the only name I've been hearing floating around in the in the coaching carousel, if you want to name it that, whatever, is Sean Payton. And I think Sean Payton's he's gone from the Saints. I'm pretty sure he's gone. It's been,
I mean, that's the talk.
Yeah,
I
that's
mean,
the talk.
but if I'm the Saints, I don't know. Did Sean Payton have a good year last year or no? No, they were a bad team last year.
They were a
right?
bad team, really bad team.
But
But they lost a lot of players. I don't blame it on Sean
Mhm.
Payton. Their
I
GM,
know.
they lost a lot. Jimmy Graham, they lost a lot of great players. So
I mean, it's hard to tell, like, when you don't live in New Orleans, so
Yeah.
you don't know exactly all the little details that are really going on there. You just kind of know the big picture of
right.
it. Like down here in Miami, a lot of national news reporters don't really know all the little
Yeah.
rumors that go around down here. But
I just hope
if I was the Saints, like knowing Sean Payton and what he's done
Mhm.
for that franchise, like I don't know, like I would still have a hard time letting go of him. But if they really want to fire him, I would totally take him. I would give him the power. I'd kick Tannenbaum out of here. Make Sean Payton do what he
they're not gonna
wants.
get rid of Tannenbaum, Bubs. Come on.
Yeah, I know it's his first year. I know it would be so weird for Steve.
He's one of those guys that he's gonna get the next coach that coaches here in Miami with the Dolphins. He's gonna be a coach where Tannenbaum he could be Tannenbaum's puppet. They don't want some guy to come in and try to I don't know. I think if they hire some type of coach like Sean Payton, he's gonna want to take control of mostly everything. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
There's coaches like that.
I know,
like
like-
Chip Kelly. He controls everything.
Yeah, I mean we
His only boss is the owner of the team
I
in
mean
Philadelphia.
we're running over. We need to go to a break right now. But
No, we don't.
no,
No.
no.
We're going against the rules here. But let me finish.
All right,
let me
fine.
finish.
We'll fit it in later.
Yeah, we'll talk about the Dolphins a little later. But let me finish up with my monologue here. Okay, so it started at noon on Saturday. We talked about the Baylor, Texas. Kansas State beats up on West Virginia 24-23, and that's Troy. Troy went to West Virginia, and he's going to talk a little bit about that. In the American Athletic Conference Championship game, Houston defeats Temple 24-13. We all know that Justin Fuente is going to be heading to Virginia Tech. And now to the big games in the SEC Championship, Alabama beats Florida 29-15. In the ACC Championship game, Clemson over UNC 45-37. The Pac-12 Stanford over USC 41-22. The best game, in my opinion, was the Big Ten Championship. Michigan State beat Iowa 16-13. Even though it was a low-scoring game, Michigan State came up and won 16-13. That put them in the top four. And the Heisman watch, we've got Derrick Henry, McCaffrey, Dalvin Cook, Deshaun Watson. In my opinion, I think the Heisman Trophy should be going to Derrick Henry. And the same night, while the college games were going on, the Heat defeated the Cleveland Cavs 99-84 without a LeBron James. And the story, everybody thought he was going to play. Everybody, man, was all hyped up to go to the game. And all of a sudden, an hour and a half before the game started, there was a report through Twitter, through whatever, saying that LeBron was fatigued, that Blatt didn't want to play him because they had an overtime game the night before, and they arrived in Miami at 5:30 in the morning, so they wanted to save LeBron James, and they're saying, "Oh, this is about the future of the team. We want LeBron to be in 100% when it comes to the playoffs." Yeah, right. So that happened on Saturday, and then on Sunday, the Dolphins won an ugly game versus the Ravens, 15-13, which we'll talk a little bit more about that on our last segment. All right, if you're looking for a good place to get a drink after work, the place is called Jada Cole's, 2845 Coral Way. Happy hour from 4 to 8. On Mondays, they got poker night. Tuesdays, live music. Wednesday, they got open mic by Somatics. And also on Thursday, they got live music. So if you like, if you have a band, just call them up, or go on Facebook or Instagram or Twitter and just tell them, no, you have a band that you want to play make sure you're a good band now. You can't just go up there and not even know how to play an instrument, right?
Yeah, can do that.
On live DJ on Friday, DJ Del Swagger spinning the hottest tunes. On Saturday, karaoke night, which Mikey Mike likes to go on Saturday because he sings all the top hits there. On Sunday, you've got ladies' night. That's the best night. You know why? Because all the ladies get in for not only get in for free, but they $5 for anything they want off the bar. If you want a shot, $5. You want a beer, $5. Everything's $5 for all the ladies. And also, you got trivia night starting at 9:00 with Lacey Brooks. The winner gets a $30 bar tab. $30 off your bar tab at Jadaco's Bar. So say hi to Terry, Scott, Gus, Lacey, and also Brittany behind the bar. 2845 Coral Way, happy hour from 4 to 8. And you can find them on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. All right, when we come back, we got Troy Hall talking college football. Keep it locked right here, 247miami.tv, The Jonnet Show.
What's this I see?
Yo, this is Ward 305.
What's going on? It's Dr. Randall.
What's good? It's Profound Basket. And I'm Big Feet 305. Y'all make sure y'all check out Urban Sports Tape.
On 247miami.tv.
I'm Craig Cook, host of Metal and Mayhem. I'm bringing you a brand new season of Metal and Mayhem this fall right here on 247miami.tv. Follow me on Twitter at Real Craig Cook to submit your requests and have all your feedback made fun of live on the air. Metal and Mayhem, Fridays this fall, 247miami.tv.
You know why we pulled you over?
Was it because I was speeding?
No, it's because you weren't listening to the
Tune in Thursdays at 8 p.m. on 247 Miami.
This is Wilma Shakespeare,
Anger,
and Disaster Chief
from Miami's Vice City Rollers, inviting you to tune in to Rink Rash Radio on 247miami.tv. New shows every Saturday at 9 p.m.
with encore replays Monday at noon and 10 p.m., Tuesdays at 10 a.m.,
and Wednesdays at 10 a.m. and again at 10 p.m.
Find out everything you've ever wanted to know about roller derby in the 305.
Get the 411 on the women's team,
the men's team,
and even the juniors.
Rink Rash Radio.
Rink Rash Radio.
Rink Rash Radio.
On 247miami.tv.
Calor y sabor. Todos los jueves a las 6 de la tarde, con tu amiga Diana Carolina, te traigo Sabor de Miami, un show de entretenimiento, desde noticias hasta un Throwback Thursday. No te lo pierdas, 1 hora de calor y sabor, aquí en 24/7 Miami.
Hi guys, I'm James.
I'm Adrian.
We got some very exciting news about our upcoming show,
Cannon Fire.
What are we going to be talking about, Adrian?
We're going to talk about everything science fiction.
So, movies?
Yes.
Video games?
Yes.
TV shows?
Checkmate on that.
Awesome. We're also going to be seen around our local comic book events. So you're going to see us at a lot of cons, hopefully at some of the comic book shops around town.
Hopefully they be giving free stuff and we'll let you know about it.
That'd be awesome. And we've also got some interviews lined up for you guys. So please remember to check us out on 247miami.tv.
And like us on Facebook.
It's time.
Oh yeah, it's that time of year. It's football season. You know what else that means? It's fantasy football season. Tune in every Tuesday at 9 p.m. for Fantasy Frauds, with replays starting at 5 on Wednesdays and Thursdays. You can only hear it here on 247miami.tv.
All right, we're back to Jonnet Show, 247miami.tv. What a weekend in college football. Well, not weekend. Started on, Friday, Troy? With Bowling Green over Northern Illinois. Can you hear me, Troy?
Troy.
Hello, Troy.
Hey, what's going on?
Hey, what's up, man?
Not much.
I was letting the fans know that it all started on Thursday. I mean, it was Friday, right? Bowling Green versus Northern Illinois.
Yeah, that was the only game Friday, and then Saturday was a huge day, loaded with all those championship games.
Yeah. So what'd you think of that game, Bowling Green and Northern Illinois? I know you texted me earlier, you said you loved Bowling Green, and Bowling Green won the game and also covered.
Yeah, Bowling Green in that game, was going against Northern Illinois, was on their third quarterback. A lot of these college teams have just had their quarterbacks beaten up all season. Northern Illinois has been playing with smoke and mirrors, and they backdoored their way into that game. They lost their last game, I think, to Ohio University.
Yeah.
And got into that game when Western Michigan knocked off Toledo. So going into that game, it was in a dome, and Bowling Green runs that wide open offense. They came into the game healthy, and it just looked like Northern Illinois sat there with their 7 guys playing back off the line, trying to defend the pass, and they tried to play the run with 4 guys. So Bowling Green beat them basically running the ball.
Yeah.
They just ran the ball at them, and pretty much they had to choose either a slow death by getting beat up in the run game, or else stuck in the box, and they would have got toasted on the pass. So Bowling Green got out ahead of them quick, and I was worried about the backdoor cover there for a while, but Bowling Green, I loved that game. That one was a shoo-in for me.
All right, before we get to the great news of what's happening in Syracuse, you can catch Troy Hall on Twitter at SportsHeadsPicks, and that's SportsHeadsPicks with an X, and he's always on Twitter tweeting out his picks and also giving out his opinion on what's going on in college football. All right, Troy, I know you're happy, very happy of what happened at Syracuse University. They signed Dino Babers to become their next head football coach. Your thoughts and your opinion?
I think it was a great hire. I thought Scott Schaefer deserved another year at Syracuse myself, but new athletic director came in. There's some questionable in-game decisions with the coaching. He had 3 quarterbacks banged up all year, and kind of some real bad luck there. But I'm glad with the hire. The athletic director said because Babers was going to coach in that MAC title game, that a lot of the other schools, they wanted to fill their job early. They didn't have the patience to wait around to interview him or to wait around for him to accept the position. So he said, I'm sticking to my guns. I'm coaching this game. Syracuse waited for him, and they pretty much got him the next day. He was introduced today. I think it's a great fit. Gets to play his home games in the Dome, and that's perfect for a team that likes to throw the ball around an awful lot, run a spread offense, a lot of throwing the ball. So I think it's a great fit up there. Syracuse hasn't ever had a coach that does what he does. He came from Baylor, built that program with Art Briles from the ground up. I was real happy. I didn't think they'd get a shot at him, but it just worked out. The timing was right, and he was still available, and they got him. So there's a lot to be excited about up there. Syracuse didn't have a very good record, wins and losses, but I think they only lost to Clemson with single digits. There's some potential. They only lose 3 starters, and they've got a good freshman quarterback. So things are looking up in Syracuse.
How did Syracuse? Can you hear me, Troy?
Yep.
Okay. How did Syracuse how did they get Dino Babers? I know he was rumored to go to other schools. How did they get him?
Yeah, like I was just saying, a lot of those schools got impatient. They started naming their head coaches during that week when Babers said, "I'm coaching this title game. I'm focused on the MAC title game. I want to win the conference." He had lost that game the year before to Northern Illinois in the conference title game.
Right.
And he said he lost other jobs because he wanted to coach that game and wouldn't leave the team before that day. And he said he wouldn't talk to anybody until after that. So, there's a lot of jobs that were available, and that did have interest in them. I know Missouri, Iowa State, Maryland. There were a lot of jobs out there that, UCF, there was rumors that he actually had agreed to become their coach, and that was totally false. They hired Scott Frost. So
how much are they giving? How much are they giving Babers?
What's that?
How much are they giving Babers? How much is Syracuse giving them?
Similar to Miami, it's a private university, so they don't release that. But I heard his contract's 6 years. I didn't hear a dollar amount though. So, but just like Miami and Rick, we don't know the numbers. They wouldn't disclose them when they were asked.
Speaking of Rick, what are your thoughts on the University of Miami hiring Mark Richt as their 24th head football coach at Miami?
the timing was perfect. Obviously, he was on the radar when they knew Georgia lost a few games earlier in the year, and Nick Chubb got injured. Things weren't going Rick's way up in Georgia, and some boosters were getting restless up there. So once rumors started floating around a little bit that maybe they were going to make a change if he didn't finish strong, Miami showed some interest. But that was a timing thing more than anything, again, because Miami had interviewed guys already. It looked like they were getting ready to make a move soon.
Yeah.
Like a lot of the other schools, they didn't want to wait around either. But once Rick became available, to me, that was a slam dunk. The guy's he's played in big games for the last 20 years, back when he was offensive coordinator at Florida State and then again at Georgia. He's got the proven track record. Great guy. He's never going to get the program in trouble.
Right.
He's an alum, so that makes a ton of people happy there. I think it's a great fit for Miami, but that was a timing thing also. The timing was perfect on it.
Yeah, he averaged 10 wins a year at Georgia. He was 145 and 51 in 15 years, 2 SEC titles. Let's see, I got his resume right in front of me. Also strong emphasis on academics. 292 players earned their degrees during his tenure. And you already mentioned that he was an offensive coordinator at FSU. But the question I have for you, Troy, is now that he's the head coach at Miami, he's gonna have to look for some assistants. What have you heard, or what's your opinion? What kind of assistants is he going to have here at the University of Miami? I know Randy Shannon's name's been thrown around as maybe the defensive coordinator.
Right. I don't see Randy Shannon coming back to the University of Miami.
Yeah.
I think he's done. He's done there. It's when a place tells you we don't want you anymore, it's not often that the guy comes back. So I don't see that happening. I do think, he said he's going to take his time. He wants the right guys. He's got his hands full now. He's coaching this bowl game. He's trying to recruit.
Right.
He's trying to think of his coaches. But there's a lot of names out there. The defensive coordinator at Notre Dame, I heard, is a name being floated around. He's going to get some good – there's a ton of interest in both the coordinator positions at Miami and all the positions. He said his phone's been ringing off the hook. So
yeah,
he hasn't really given any indication on who's going to be what yet.
Yeah. All right, let's get to the
go ahead. Wait and see.
All right, let's get to the games. Let's start with these two games here that weren't part of your picks. Texas over Baylor. Texas wins 23-17.
Did I pick Texas?
No. I'm picking two games here that weren't part of your picks. I'm starting with those two games.
Wow.
They're Big 12 games. That's why
Yeah.
I know you're a Big 12 guy, so that's why I picked this game just to talk.
Yeah. Well, it was an awesome game, obviously, because Charlie Strong just got a huge momentum boost going into the off season. He's at least shows that the program could be going in the right direction because his guys came out strong. They were ready. They were ready to play.
Right.
They jumped on Baylor early in that game, up 17-0, I think.
Mm-hmm.
They definitely played feisty. They showed like they cared. They believed in the coach. I mean, I think there were two almost fights in the game.
Yeah.
They were playing pretty scrappy, and they took advantage of Baylor having basically a wide receiver as a quarterback there. They played pretty physical and beat Baylor at Baylor, which is not easy to do. I think they're getting 17 points in the game.
Right.
Huge boost for Texas.
Yeah. Way to finish the game. I mean, way to finish the season strong there for Charlie. Look at that, Charlie Strong finishing the season strong. Amazing.
Yep.
All right, this is another game. It wasn't one of your picks, but it was a good game in the Big Ten championship game. Michigan State over Iowa, 16-13.
That game was just your classic Big Ten slugfest. Both teams trying to run it down the other team's throat. Iowa had a big play early on, and low-scoring game. And basically, the story of the game was the final drive. It was a 9-minute drive by Michigan State, 22 plays, only one pass.
Right.
And they left 23 seconds left on the clock. They barely reached the ball. Freshman running back reaches the ball over the goal line to take the lead, and that drive was the difference in the game. They beat a tough, solid Iowa team. That's a team that doesn't beat itself.
Yeah.
Undefeated through the regular season. People knock their schedule, but the kids had nothing to do with the schedule. It was a really good game, and that's how Michigan State and Iowa, they both play how they're going to play. They're not going to surprise you in one game, come out and run a spread. They're physical teams, and they make you beat them. They don't make many mistakes. It was a really great game to watch. Good ending.
Troy Hall joining us right here on the John Ed Show. You can catch him on at Sportsheads Picks with an X. All right, Troy, let's get to the picks. Let's start with this was a win for you. Houston over Temple. Houston wins 24-13 in the AAC championship game.
Yeah, the championship game for that conference is kind of unique. I think it's one of the only ones where the team with a better record actually gets to host the home game.
Wow,
for
I didn't
the
know that.
championship game. So Houston had a home game for that one. Temple is a defensive-minded team. They try to pound you, and Houston, I thought, was going to have too much offense. I just didn't think Temple would be able to score enough to stay with them. Now, Temple's defense, I think, they held them to 24 points, but Houston's strength is their run defense defensively, and that's what Temple likes to do. And Temple just had trouble scoring the ball. I think that ended 24-13, and
Right.
Houston ended up getting the cover there.
All right, this game here upset you very much. You're a West Virginia alum. West Virginia loses 24-23 to Kansas State. What the hell happened there, man?
A total nightmare. Kansas State, their offense has been pathetic a lot of the year. That's a team that Oklahoma beat 55-0 earlier in the year. Kansas State has played some teams tough. They played Baylor to a one-score game earlier in the year. They just find a way to ugly things up. And just watching that whole game, the whole thing was sloppy. I don't know what it is, but Dana Holgorsen has not been able to beat Bill Snyder since he's gotten into the Big 12. He's got some kind of man crush on him because he grew up in Iowa, and Bill Snyder was an offensive coordinator for Iowa back under Hayden Fry back in the day, and he grew up watching him. He's very familiar with him. He's worshipped the guy basically since he was a kid. Well, it'd be nice if he'd be able to just go and beat him when he's got a better team. The quarterback for West Virginia had a terrible game. I thought the play calling was atrocious for West Virginia. I think Holgorsen needs to have a strong bowl game, or they're playing in the Cactus Bowl on January 2nd against Arizona State. It should be a good game. Arizona State's a pretty good team. I think he's got to win that bowl game, or he could be in trouble.
Oh, really? Another coach looking for a job. All right, Troy. Let's see the Pac-10 championship game. Stanford over USC. That was a loss. I liked USC. You liked USC. They got crushed 41-22 against Stanford.
They got annihilated. I thought they were going to be able to maybe bottle up McCaffrey a little bit, and instead I think he had like 400 all-purpose yards or something. It was, I don't know how many. It might have been not 400, but it was an awful lot.
Yeah.
It seemed like he did whatever he wanted in every phase of the game. I thought, Naaman Helton, the permanent head coach from interim, was, USC was looking up, whereas things 2 months ago were as bad as it could be. USC's got explosive players of all the skill positions, the quarterback being a fifth-year senior. I thought they had a lot going for them, and defensively I thought they'd stand up a little better, but clearly they didn't. Shaw at Stanford's a really good coach. I thought he outcoached Helton completely. And, one of the best players in the country, McCaffrey, he showed why. He's pretty good, and I think he'll be in New York for the Heisman ceremony.
Yeah, I might get your opinion on who you like. If you had a vote for the Heisman, who would you vote for? But we'll get to that a little later. Alabama over Florida, SEC championship game. Alabama 29-50. It was a close game in the beginning there, Troy. I liked Florida with the points. You liked Alabama. That was a loss. Your thoughts on that game, Alabama over Florida?
Well, I think the game kind of went like people were thinking. Florida was going to need to have some sort of defensive or special teams points.
Right.
They're going to need to get some turnovers to stay in it. And to start off the game, you know, they get 7 points out of the special teams on a kick return. They got up there and put that on the board, and then you didn't see much from them until late. They had a long pass that put another 7 on the board. Alabama controlled the game pretty much after getting off to that slow start. And the cover basically boiled down to Alabama getting down to the 2 or 3 yard line and with time running out. So, you know, the Florida's defense, you almost feel bad. I definitely feel bad for that defense, how resilient they've been and how dominant Florida's defense has been at times this year, because Florida's offense is just pathetic.
Yeah. It
is really, really bad. So, what a great job of coaching by Jim McElwain in his first year.
Why couldn't they just run the ball all day? Why did Florida do? Why did they even try to throw the ball? It's horrible. Just run the ball, right?
Yeah, it's tough, but I guess against Alabama, you can't just line up and throw it. That was the problem in that game.
I'm just fooling around.
You know, it's not that easy. And Florida's offensive line is awfully young. They can only get better. But when you're playing young guys against Bama's front 7,
you're
probably not going to have much success if you can't throw it.
And Florida has to start the season next season with this guy being suspended for the first 6 games, right? I forget his name, the quarterback for Florida.
Will Greer, yeah.
Wow, amazing. All right, let's get to the next game. Let's see here. I'm looking Clemson over UNC, University of North Carolina, the ACC championship game. This was a win for you, Troy. You like Clemson, and they covered 45-37.
Yeah, I like Clemson as a 6-point favorite. The game was pretty tight in the beginning, but going into the fourth quarter, Clemson had a 19-point lead in it, and you know, 2 really good quarterbacks in this game: Deshaun Watson, Marquise Williams. Entertaining game to watch, you know, back and forth. And I just thought Clemson had the better defense. I thought that would be the difference in the game. I thought they'd win by 2 scores or so. And UNC, you know, kind of made a late run there in the fourth quarter to make it really closer than it was. And, and it looked like on top of it there was an onside kick, and it looked like the refs blew it.
Yep.
They called offsides on North Carolina, and you can see clearly there was no offsides on the replays. I don't know how they missed that.
Right.
But kind of robbed them at a chance of coming down, and I think the game ended at an 8-point win. I think it was 8. It would have been a touchdown to 2-point conversion.
Right.
So, I mean, we could have seen another really great ending if the refs didn't job that one there.
Yeah. All right, so you go 2-3, Troy. 2-3 on your picks. All right, the committee sat down. They named the top 4 teams in college football. Clemson number 1, Alabama number 2, Michigan State number 3, and Oklahoma number 4. Were you surprised that Michigan State leapfrogged over Oklahoma?
No, because Oklahoma was sitting home on the couch, and the other 3 teams played.
Right.
And it wasn't like they played nobodies. They all played teams that were, you know, top 10 teams. So everybody else had another feather on their cap, and Oklahoma had to kind of sit on their previous resume. I have a different top 4, but
give us your top 4.
Give us different.
Well, what are your top 4?
My top 4?
Yeah.
I would have had Clemson 1.
Okay.
I'd add Michigan State 2.
Okay.
I'd add Oklahoma 3, and I'd add Alabama 4.
Opinion. What? I mean, why? Give us the reason.
I don't think Alabama really played top teams this year. Myself, I don't think they really faced very many good offenses the whole year. I felt like they played Ole Miss, who has a good offense, and Ole Miss smoked them.
Yeah.
You know, I just don't think Alabama can throw the ball. I think they're a much better version of. I think they're about like Florida on defense, very similar, but I think they've got a really good running game, veteran line, and a really good running back, and some more seniority at the quarterback position, and the wide receivers have more years on them. But I don't think Alabama's resume, they say they've played 10 bowl teams, but man, some of these bowl teams stink. I just don't see the great wins on Alabama's resume. They beat everybody that was put in front of them except for Ole Miss, but the teams that they beat aren't as good as the teams that the other three beat.
Yeah, I agree. I totally agree. Oklahoma had some good wins. Michigan State had some good wins, and Clemson. The coach came out saying
Clemson.
Yeah, tell us what were the big wins that Clemson had?
Clemson had some really good wins. They were willing to play Notre Dame out of conference.
Right.
Notre Dame, they beat them. They beat Florida State.
Right.
Which obviously finished strong. They destroyed the Gators 27-2, which is worse than Alabama beat them. And North Carolina in the championship game is another win. And then you take another team, Miami Hurricanes, they what was it, 58-0 on the road. And the Hurricanes played Florida State tight at Florida State.
Right.
So I think Clemson's resume is pretty darn good. They've got 3 top 10 wins there.
I agree. All right. The schedule's out, Troy, for the college football playoffs. We got early lines out. Let's see here in the Orange Bowl. Number 1 Clemson versus number 4 Oklahoma. Oklahoma's favored by 4 points. Your opinion?
I think the point spread tells my opinion on that game. I think Oklahoma's going to beat them, and I don't even think it's going to be close.
Whoa!
I think they're going to win by double digits, Oklahoma, in that game. I love Deshaun Watson. I think he's a great player. I think Clemson has good defense. I think they can run the ball. Clemson's an all-around football team. Unfortunately for Clemson, I don't think their good defense is going to be able to even slow down Oklahoma. Unless Baker Mayfield gets hurt, I don't see anyone slowing them down. He's just too dynamic at quarterback, and the 2 running backs are NFL guys, Mixon and Samaje Perine has been banged up a lot of the year. He's healthy now. He's going to definitely be healthy for that game with all this rest. He didn't have to play a championship game. And Oklahoma's defense is best in the Big 12. I think they're going to they're used to playing dynamic offenses. Anything Deshaun Watson throws at them, it's not going to be anything they haven't seen before.
Right.
I like Oklahoma in that game.
All right, that game is played on December 31st right here in Miami, Florida, Sun Life Stadium at 4 o'clock on ESPN. All right, the next game, Michigan State, number 3 versus number 2 Alabama in the Cotton Bowl. Alabama's favored by 9.5, Troy.
Yeah, that one I think is a slap in the face to Michigan State in the way they play. I don't think there's really a team out there that blows out Michigan State. The way they play defense, their coach, in my opinion, doesn't get enough credit. Mark D'Antonio, he's a blue-collar guy. He knows how to motivate. He knows X's and O's. Goes on the road and beats Ohio State with 2 backup quarterbacks that don't even have a prayer of throwing the ball. I mean, somehow wins that game. He just finds ways to win. I think the refs stole a win from him at Nebraska. They'd be undefeated right now. But I think Michigan State covers that 9.5. I think that's a tight game, and it's going to go down to the wire.
I agree with you. I like the
I
points.
I may even look at that money line on that game.
I knew you were going to come up with something like that.
What kind of odds are they going to give you if the point spread's 9.5? What are the money line odds on that? I trust Connor Cook a lot more than I trust that Coker character.
Yeah. You better bet it quick because that line's going to go down, right, or to go up or down according to how many people.
I'm not sure. They said all the early money's been on Oklahoma and Alabama.
Really? Wow.
Yep.
All right, that game is played also on December 31st in Arlington, Texas, AT&T Stadium at 8 p.m. on ESPN. The championship game will be played on January 11th, Glendale, Arizona, University of Phoenix, and that's at 8:30 p.m. All right, Troy, 4 names for the Heisman. Just give me your who would you pick? Henry, McCaffrey, Cook, or Watson?
Well, it's tight for me
because
I think Henry's going to win it.
Okay.
Saban gives the guy the ball 40 times a game.
Right.
And the other team knows they're going to give it to him 40 times in a game, and he's still getting 200 yards. He's put the entire offense on his back in the SEC, which I think SEC offense has stunk the whole year outside Ole Miss. But the defenses have still been pretty good in the SEC, and he's still running all over them. That was a good Gators defense, and he still pounded it right down at him. So he's a big guy. He's a freak of nature. In the weight room, he's been consistent as all hell all year. And I think because Bama's only got one loss, they're in the playoff. I give it to him slightly over the kid. If Stanford had made the playoff, I would really think about giving it to McCaffrey.
Right. Yeah.
He means more to his team than
Henry
I
does.
think the other guys do, because Alabama still has that Kenyon Drake at running back, who's a really good running back.
Right.
I think he just means so much. He's everything to Stanford. But they didn't make the playoff. I don't think he has a shot at getting it because of that. I think Henry finishes 1, Watson finishes 2, and I think McCaffrey finishes 3.
All right, Troy, before we let you go, your opinion on the Sun Bowl in El Paso, Texas. That's 2 p.m. I think it's the 21st or 20. Is it 20? Oh, I'm sorry, it's the 26th of December.
23rd.
The 23rd, okay.
Oh, yeah.
Miami versus Washington State, real quick before we let you go.
Fun game to watch, that's for sure. They're playing against Mike Leach up at Washington State, who was on the hot seat headed into the season. Had a nice long 5-year contract, but fans were pissed off. They weren't winning games. They were getting, I think they lost to maybe Portland last year or some team like that. But he's really got things going this year. His quarterback Falk is up there near the tops in the nation, throwing the ball. Their offense is up at the tops in the nation. You know, moving the ball. It's typical Mike Leach air raid style offense. Throws it all over the place. And does what he can defensively to get some turnovers, and he tries to outscore you. That's going to make Miami have to make some decisions on offense. Do they try to pound the ball and keep it away from their offense, or do they just do what they do? It'll be interesting to see what Coach Scott comes up with.
Handicap the game. What would this point spread be?
Ooh, there's a point spread out for it already.
Oh, really? Because I
Yeah,
didn't get one yet.
I didn't get one yet either. Just looking at it.
All right.
I would think it's probably Washington State by 3.
Okay, Washington State by 3. All right,
just a guess.
Oh, that's a guess. Okay.
Just a guess. But one quick thing also about that Michigan State game. A lot of people don't know this. Coach D'Antonio used to work for Saban at Michigan State.
Oh, okay.
Big game
Good point.
for Coach D'Antonio. Big game for Coach D'Antonio. He wants to win this one big time. Saban, people in Michigan State are pissed at Saban for leaving, going to LSU, just like a lot of other teams that we know close to home are pissed that he left. So he's got a lot of motivation in that game.
All right, good point in there, Troy. Since the season's over in college football, let's next week handicap, or not handicap, but I want to know your opinion on what's going on with the college. With the bowl games, we'll go down each game and we'll get your opinion on each game. Is that cool?
Sounds good to me. You got Army Navy Saturday is the only game this weekend.
Right. All right, Troy. You catch Troy on Twitter at Sportsheads Picks with an X. Troy, good job, and we'll catch you next week.
Appreciate it. Have a good one.
All right. When we come back, we have the mayor from Mixer.com, straight from NYC. When we come back here on the John Ed Show.
What's this I see?
Yo, this is the Ward 305.
What's going on? It's Dr. Randall.
What's good? It's Profound Basket. And I'm Big Feet 305. Y'all make sure y'all check out Urban Sports Tape.
On 247miami.tv.
I'm Craig Cook, host of Metal and Mayhem. I'm bringing you a brand new season of Metal and Mayhem this fall right here on 247miami.tv. Follow me on Twitter at RealCraigCook to submit your requests and have all your feedback made fun of live on the air. Metal and Mayhem, Fridays this fall, 247miami.tv.
You know why we pulled you over?
Was it because I was speeding?
No, it's because you weren't listening to the
Tune in Thursdays at 8 p.m. on 247 Miami.
This is Wilma Shakespeare,
Anger,
and Disaster Chief
from Miami's Vice City Rollers, inviting you to tune in to Rink Rash Radio on 247miami.tv. New shows every Saturday at 9 p.m.
with encore replays Monday at noon and 10 p.m., Tuesdays at 10 a.m.,
and Wednesdays at 10 a.m. and again at 10 p.m.
Find out everything you've ever wanted to know about roller derby in the 305.
Get the 411 on the women's team,
the men's team,
and even the juniors.
Rink Rash Radio.
Rink Rash Radio.
Rink Rash Radio.
On 247miami.tv.
Calor y sabor. Todos los jueves a las 6 de la tarde, con tu amiga Diana Carolina, te traigo Sabor de Miami, un show de entretenimiento, desde noticias hasta un Throwback Thursday. No te lo pierdas, 1 hora de calor y sabor, aquí en 24/7 Miami.
Hi guys, I'm James.
I'm Adrian.
We've got some very exciting news about our upcoming show,
Cannon Fire.
What are we going to be talking about, Adrian?
We're going to talk about everything science fiction.
So, movies?
Yes.
Video games?
Yes.
TV shows?
Checkmate on that.
Awesome. We're also going to be seen around our local comic book events. So you're going to see us at a lot of cons, hopefully at some of the comic book shops around town.
Hopefully they be giving free stuff and we'll let you know about it.
That'd be awesome. And we've also got some interviews lined up for you guys. So please remember to check us out on 247miami.tv.
And like us on Facebook.
It's time.
Oh yeah, it's that time of year. It's football season. You know what else that means? It's fantasy football season. Tune in every Tuesday at 9 p.m. for Fantasy Frauds, with replays starting at 5 on Wednesdays and Thursdays. You can only hear it here on 247miami.tv.
You can catch the John Ed Show on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Just search John Ed Show, and you can catch the John Ed Show on those social media outlets. All right, we got the mayor in the house. You can catch the mayor every Tuesday on Mixer.com from 8 to 10. We had a great show last week. I was on there with my opinions on the chat line, right, Mayor?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You broke it down.
What's going on?
You broke it down. Everything good. Everything good. We're happy down here in Miami. We finally got a good coach down here at the University of Miami. I know you're a University of Miami guy. Mark Richt, and that's the theme of the show. What do you think about the pick? Oh, not the pick, but what do you think about the hire?
I like the hire. I appreciate the hire.
Yeah.
Now we got somebody, I guess, that has a history with the team, so that he could, kind of like deal with it from the inside out instead of somebody that's coming in from the outside perspective.
Right.
So I definitely appreciate the hire of Mark Richt. He definitely has a proven record that's showing with what he did at Georgia. So hopefully, I'm thinking that maybe give us a couple of years. It's gonna take you got to crawl before you walk.
Right.
So I'm not expecting Miami to tear the world up next season or anything like that. I'm expecting improvement. I'm expecting stability now.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I'm really looking for. So we'll be back, but I don't think, John, that it's ever going to be the way that it was. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But I think that we could, with this hire of Mark Richt, I'm saying that the Miami Hurricanes can get back to being respectable.
Right.
Nobody respects the Hurricanes anymore.
That's right.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So if we, and I said we, because I'm a Miami Hurricanes dude.
Yes, sir.
Since '84. Thank you very much.
Yes, sir.
But if they can get it together, man, I'm looking forward to some good things from the Hurricanes, man. For real. Get the stadium thing together. Get that situated, John.
Yep.
I think that has to be a must.
I think they're trying to work on some. There's a guy, some millionaire down here that's trying to work on making the stadium closer to the campus, which will help a lot.
That'll help a lot.
Yeah. Which is because we can't pack Sun Life Stadium. It holds 72,000 people. We can't put in 72,000 people for the Canes. You know how a lot of fair weather fans down here, they only come when the Canes are winning. So I'm hoping that this guy could do that because it'll be a great help.
Yeah, man. And Miami's a school that we do the history.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's a thing that we really harp on, the history. So you got to know where you've been to kind of establish where you're going. So it's not like Miami hasn't seen these bad times before. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? This was even before Coach Schellenberger. Shout out to Coach Schellenberger. You know what I mean?
You're going way back. With
Yeah, man. I'm here. I'm here with you, son. I'm here with you all day. But yeah, man. So we gotta get it back, man. So with the hire of Mark Richt, I don't think that Miami is going to be much of a laughing stock. It's kind of like a shame to say, anything concerned with Miami dealing with the off the field stuff and the instability of the program. But now I think with the hire of Mark Richt, I think we could get back on our way to that somewhat.
I totally agree, Mayor. All right, the sub theme of the show is let's see, where is the sub theme of the show? I got it right here. Should the Dolphins consider trading Ryan Tannehill? A lot of and Mikey Mike, who's our producer of the show, he's I don't know, he what was your opinion on that, Mike? Do you want to get rid of Tannehill?
I mean, his trade value is like super low right now. I don't know how much you could get for him.
Yeah.
I mean, if you want it, if you can get a first round pick for him, I'd take it.
Yeah. What's your opinion on that? Should the Dolphins consider trading Ryan Tannehill?
Mayor. Well. Being that I'm a Tampa Bay Buccaneers fan,
and we'll get to them a little later.
Now, what goes on in Miami is really no concern to me.
Yeah.
But since you asked the question, I think that you rewarded Tannehill off of a great season by giving him that contract.
Yep.
And to kind of like steer away and try to deviate from him after 1 year, I'm not really in favor of them, quote unquote, getting rid of Ryan Tannehill.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because you know what? I'm not trying to, steer away from the topic or anything like that, but I think it's relevant. Look at Alex Smith.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'm an Alex Smith fan. I like Alex Smith. I'm a big Alex Smith fan. Okay. When the 49ers got rid of Alex Smith, I was like, they're doing it too soon. You're jumping the gun.
Mm-hmm.
Because Colin Kaepernick looked like the new thing in the window. Now you want to toss Alex Smith to the side. Now look at you.
Yeah.
Okay. Now look at you. But back to Ryan Tannehill, my dude, I think that they should build a little bit more around him. And what I mean by that, and you're closer to the situation than I am, so you might be able to correct me a little bit. I think that they should get that offensive line fortified a little bit more.
Yes.
Okay. I think that Tannehill is a dude that can make it happen if he has the right situation around him that can make it happen.
Yeah.
So again, man, I wouldn't trade Ryan Tannehill. Now with all, who's gonna pick up that money?
Yeah. But
you know what I mean? That's the thing.
They fired.
You get enamored with a great season.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then all of a sudden you want to push all this money on this dude. So because now your expectations are high, John.
Yep.
That's with everything, baby. Now your expectations are high.
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't fulfill those expectations from the door, now they're ready to get rid of you.
In my opinion, I'm waiting for the next coaching staff to come in because he was handcuffed. Bill Lazor was fired last week, and reports are coming out that Lazor wouldn't allow Tannehill to audible. That he had to do everything Lazor, every play that he called, he had to go by that.
Right.
So now with Bill Lazor gone, maybe a new coaching staff that comes in. I like to give him one more year, and then think about see where he's heading because he's not progressing. He's degressing. Right? Is that the right word?
He's borderline inept. I mean, you
was close. It was regressing. You're close.
Yeah, he's regressing. But I mean,
what did I say?
No. I like Alex Smith too, but he's part of the and Andy Reid built a system around him where it goes to Alex Smith's strengths. He throws a lot out of the backfield, a lot of screens. Now he's throwing a little bit more downfield, but all the other seasons he didn't throw to wide receivers at all.
Yeah. All right, Mayor, let's get to your Bucks, 23-19 over the Falcons.
Hey, Tampa Bay, baby. hey, Tampa Bay, all day in the building.
Every day.
You know what, John? Like I said last week, man, can't nobody get me down right now, dude.
Mm-hmm.
Can't nobody get me down. Can't nobody tell me nothing about my Buccaneers. We've improved by leaps and bounds over last year. And that's the thing that's going to resonate with me. This was a nice win. We swept Atlanta.
Right.
Get them out of here.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, we had to pay them back for last year, man.
No
I was on the radio that Thursday. I was on the air that Thursday night last season when it was like 35-0 in the first quarter.
Woo.
When we was down in the Georgia Dome.
Yeah.
I was sick. My dude, sick. So now we swept them. Much improvement. A lot of things has to be said about the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Jameis Winston, he might not have played his best game of the season, but I think he put together his most impressive drive, John.
Yeah.
Okay.
I saw
Tampa Bay was down 19-16 in the fourth quarter. Jameis Winston, he directed a 12-play, 80-yard drive that led to the game-winning touchdown to Mike Evans. The most impressive play on the drive came on 3rd and 19.
Whoa.
Winston looked like they had him after about a 9-yard gain. Then somehow Winston spun out of the defense to gain 20 yards on the play. And to me, that's a marked improvement of a quarterback that's a rookie that instead of just letting the situation overwhelm him, he played like, this is what I do.
Yeah.
That's why I like Jameis Winston. I liked him coming out the draft. I'm glad that we selected him number 1. All the other stuff, the crab legs and all that hollering in at school and all that, I don't care about that. He's a kid. He's still a kid.
Right.
He's still a kid, yo. Now he's in the NFL, and now he's proven himself. So my grade for my Tampa Bay Buccaneers from yesterday's action, I got to give them a B. I like what they done, man. We're at 500, John. How can I be mad at that, B?
Yeah.
What do you guys like?
Hey, Tampa Bay in the building, baby.
Mayor, aren't you 3 times better than last year now?
Excuse me?
Are the Bucks 3 times better than last year right now? With the
I was getting ready to curse, man.
No, man.
Lose my religion. Yeah, they better, man.
You guys got it.
Yes.
Hey, you want a quarterback that could take the punches but throw one back. You guys got that.
Hey, man. You know what? I agree with you on that. But I mean, if I could get that kind of play with him out of one situation, then I'm good, man. He's not trying to be the hero every week. He's just trying to get his team to win, and I'm not mad at that. And that's a big dude. He's a big dude, man, so he can take that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, again, I agree with you. You can't put yourself out there every week, every time, but we needed that. 3rd and 19?
Woo!
And he got 20 yards? Come on, man.
Woo! Unlike Tannehill.
Show my homie some love.
Hey, man.
Jameis Winston some love.
Tannehill can't even get a 5-yard 3rd down conversion. So,
hey, I bet you he knows. I bet you he knows how many yards it is from the stadium to the bank.
Hey, he's got $1 for each step.
Didn't Mariota had Mariota had an 85-yard run for a touchdown yesterday? Did you see that one?
Who that?
Mariota.
Yeah.
What was it, like 80-yard touchdown run that he had?
You know what though, John? I'm glad you brought up the situation with Marcus Mariota.
Yeah.
I think that this season, as far as for Marcus Mariota, man, he's trying to do what he has to do, man. It's the same thing with Winston. Give him some time, man. A play like that yesterday shows Tennessee what type of situation they may have in the future, man. He had 112 yards rushing yesterday. He threw for 268 and 3 touchdowns.
Yeah.
So they can't be too mad about what they, how they ended up in the draft either.
Right.
So again, man, if the Titans, played Jacksonville at home, they'd probably be undefeated in Nashville. The Titans, their first home win all year, their first home win since October of 2014. That's deep, man.
Wow.
That's deep when you can't win at home.
That's
but
real.
the last time that the Titans beat a team that wasn't Jacksonville at home came on 2013 when they beat Houston.
Mm-hmm.
But again, man, bringing up Marcus Mariota is a good look, man. I really don't like to compare and contrast, Jameis Winston and Marcus Mariota. But I think that at the end of the day, they're going to be two very good NFL quarterbacks.
Yeah. All right, the Carolina Panthers stay undefeated. They win 41-38 against the New Orleans Saints last night. Should the 1970 Dolphins, should they worry a little bit about their undefeated season here, Mayor?
Nope. Nope. And I'm going to tell you why. My G.
Yes, sir.
The last couple of weeks, Carolina has been kind of like playing on cruise control. I think, you know what, and this is just me, and I'm not saying it because I'm a Buccaneers fan and we're in the same division. I think that the Panthers kind of got it on cruise control a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? They could win the close games, but I think that they didn't expect getting a shootout with New Orleans. They haven't had to win many shootouts this season. But they did yesterday thanks to Cam Newton, and there should be no conversation about who the MVP is now.
Yes, sir.
No debate.
Yes, sir.
No debate. Cam Newton, 5 touchdowns yesterday. He's got the Panthers offense running like a steamroller right now. They had 497 yards yesterday, tied for 3rd highest in team history. But you know what, though, John? I think that at the end of the year, if they're 15-0, whatever the case may be, they got everything locked down. They got home field and all that good stuff right there. It really doesn't matter if you're 16-0. And I'm just going to say that from my perspective, John.
Right.
Because we saw, in recent times, the last team to go 16-0, they didn't, their season didn't end up too well.
Exactly. The New England
You know what I'm
Patriots.
saying? So
yeah.
to me, if you go undefeated, that's a great thing, John. But I'm not really going to hang my hat on. I went undefeated. I went 16-0 in the regular season, but I lost my first playoff game.
Yeah. All right, the
you know what I mean? That's crazy.
The Panthers got Atlanta their next game, and they got the Giants in New York, and then they got Atlanta again in Atlanta, and then they finish the season off with your Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
You see what I'm saying? They don't call me the mayor for nothing. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I think that, you know what though, as being a dude that's seen a lot of stuff and they can go back and talk about it, I think the Panthers got to be wary about that Giants game. I think they got to be wary because a lot of crazy things happen at MetLife, which used to be the Meadowlands and all that, but we'll get into that later. But I think that going down the line, they play Atlanta, you said, then they're at the Giants. That's a game that might be a game for them to pay attention to. If they get past that one, then get down to the end of the season where they play. Who they play again at the last game of the season?
Your Bucks, man.
Who they play one more time?
Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
All right, baby. That's what it is. And to answer the homie's question from earlier, hell yeah, my team is better. And I think that if we went into that game and Carolina went into that game undefeated, all the pressure would be on Carolina.
Yes, sir.
No pressure would be on Tampa Bay. None.
All right,
no pressure.
Two more questions before we get to the NBA. The Patriots lose 2 in a row. Your thoughts on the Patriots? I know they have a lot of injuries. Gronk didn't play yesterday. I think they should probably sit those guys out for a little bit. Mayor, I don't know if you agree with that. I'm pretty sure they got that division wrapped up. What's your thought on the Patriots losing 2 games in a row?
You know what? I think that I respect the Patriots. All the gate stuff notwithstanding, I respect them. This year. I haven't really heard too many people make excuses about, Gronk being out, Amendola, whatever, being out. They just lost the game to a team that didn't have anything to lose, John. Back to the don't have nothing to lose thing again. Everybody thought the Eagles were going to go up there and get mollywopped. When there was no score at the end of the first, when there was no score in the first quarter, I was like, oh, okay, we might have a game here.
Yeah.
Because New England, usually they've been running over people. But you know what, though? Coaches say, when the coaches do say special teams is important as offense and defense, this is the game that they was talking about. The Patriots gave up a block punt for a touchdown and a punt return for a touchdown. When does that happen?
Rarely.
That's some stuff that you kind of see when you see the Rams or somebody play.
Right.
You know what I mean? No disrespect. But that is some shade, though. Holla at me. I'm left-handed on Twitter. But I think that the Patriots, man, they got the 2 losses out of the way. Now they got to really see, it's serious now, John.
Right.
It's serious now for them. There's no coasting to the home field advantage to the number 1 seed in the AFC. Everybody's hungry and everybody's gunning for the Patriots, man.
We all know that the Broncos have a good defense, Mayor. They beat up on San Diego 17-3 yesterday. Can Osweiler take the Broncos to the Super Bowl?
You mean Rockweiler? Shout out to Meth and Red. Shout out to Meth and Red. You already know. Rockweiler's in the building, baby. I think there might be a different starting quarterback in Denver, but the Broncos' recipe for winning games hasn't changed. Basically, what Denver does is they suffocate you on defense.
Right.
And they do just enough on offense now to win, and that's just what happened against San Diego. Okay, Danny Trevathan had a pick 6, which was the biggest play of the game off of Phillip Rivers. Okay, the Broncos also got nice play from Rockweiler, 16-26 for 166 and a touchdown. That's all they need. That's it.
Right.
You don't got to throw 7 touchdown passes.
Right.
You don't got to do that. Just be efficient. And you know what I mean? We can put your name on, or we can put you in a line with Method Man and Red Man, Rockweiler in the building.
Now, let me ask you. This is an important question here, Mayor. If the Broncos see that Peyton Manning, once he gets healthy again, and they see progress in practice, do you think the Broncos will throw him in?
Wow, this is where it gets kind of sticky and touchy at for me, man. I respect Peyton Manning. I've never been one of those dudes that's been like, Peyton Manning is the greatest quarterback I've ever seen in my life. I've never been that dude.
Right.
So if you can get some wins out of Rottweiler, and that's going to be his name until he proves otherwise. If you can get wins out of Rottweiler, keep Rottweiler as the starter. And you got a Mariano Rivera type sitting on the bench, ready to make it happen.
Uh-huh.
So I think as long as Rottweiler can make it happen and keep Denver undefeated and do just enough to win, you got a hell of a backup right there. You got a hell of a backup plan. That's just me.
No doubt, no doubt. All right, you catch the mayor on Mixer.com every Tuesday from 8 to 10. Also on Facebook at Further Review, Twitter Left-Handed. All right, let's switch over. Let's switch over to the NBA. Mayor, have you? You know, I'm kind of very upset of what happened on Saturday with the Cavaliers not playing LeBron James because the excuses were that they arrived into Miami at 5:30 in the morning. They had an overtime game versus the Pelicans the night before. I never seen Michael Jordan, Pat Ewing, Kobe Bryant, Magic Johnson, Larry Bird say they don't want to play because they were fatigued. And I know it came from Black. Black, it was his decision to not play LeBron, but LeBron could tell his coach, he's already overruled him in a lot of different other things. Why can't he just say to Black, I want to play this game. This is a special game. I used to play here. The fans want to see me down here play. Your opinions?
You know what? I kind of think that maybe he, in his so-called infinite wisdom, he thought that maybe, he would sit out, and try to rest and keep his body wherever he needs to be or whatever.
The season just started, Mayor. Mayor, the season just started.
I understand. But you just said it. You said he's, you never saw Jordan do that. You never saw any of the other greats do that.
Right.
So I really don't even have to talk about to compare LeBron against any of those other dudes because we see LeBron's not there. He's not there. I don't care how many commercials you make, how many, you try to shove it down people's throat how great this dude is. No, you can have LeBron. I think sometimes it might get to him because, like you said, that Miami Heat game is a game that you should be playing in regardless.
Of course.
Sit out against Memphis.
Mm-hmm.
Sit out against Minnesota or somebody. That Miami Heat game, that you should never miss those games. and that tells everybody all they need to know about you.
Yeah.
You're not hurt. Nothing's wrong with you. You just want to sit out some select games. You could have sat out a West Coast trip game at Sacramento or something. Nobody would have paid attention to that.
That's like Pat Ewing.
Stop trying to be a diva, man, because you ain't there yet.
That's like Pat Ewing back in the 90s when he had, when they had those big games against the Heat. Like Pat Ewing say, I don't want to play because I'm fatigued. Come on.
Even on that, John. Shout out to my man John X. I'm rocking this show right now. Even with that, Patrick Ewing was saying, instead of saying, keep me in the game, I want to play the game. Patrick Ewing was saying, give me the damn ball.
Let's go. Right.
Patrick Ewing wanted the ball, but that's another story. I got to get on that end because I wasn't really totally agreeing with that.
Yeah.
And Patrick Ewing, he's one of the greatest Knicks ever, but he's not one of my favorite Knicks ever. We'll get into that later. But yeah, man, I never really rock with LeBron anyway. So to me, this right here is entertaining me. This is what everybody's getting. Yeah. This is what you get for sweating that dude.
All right, one more.
LeBron this, LeBron that. Yeah, okay. Now what?
One more on the Heat, and then we'll flip it over to the Knicks. Okay. I've been very critical on Dwayne Wade, but he shut my mouth these last 3 games. He had 19 versus Cleveland, 28 versus OKC, and 30 versus the Celtics. 3 games in a row. What do you see in Dwayne Wade, Mayor? The reason why I've been critical on him because sometimes I feel like he's not there. Sometimes his 15-foot jump shot is not there anymore. He can't hit that shot. The only way he could score is either on driving to the basket or on the free throw line. His jumper is broke big time. But he shut my mouth, and I think Wade, even though it's the beginning of the season, the Heat schedule has been favorable towards them because
I think we lost him.
We lost it. You there, Mayor?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay. Because the Heat's schedule has been, it has favored them because they only had one back-to-back game, and the majority of the games have been at home. Your opinions on D Wade?
My opinion on D Wade, man, is he's a great player, man. I think that he's just now trying to, kind of sort of acquiesce to the players and the pieces around him right now, just trying to be a part. Those, like you said, those 50-foot jumpers, those days are over. But I don't think that D Wade shut your mouth. I think it's Gabrielle Union giving you the side eye. Miami, notwithstanding with Dwayne Wade and all that, they got the number 2 defense in the NBA, and they're just hitting their stride offensively, man. So, again, I think it's all about everybody becoming a part of something instead of you got one dude and everybody else like it used to be for the last couple of years.
Right.
You want to be a part of something. And at least Dwayne Wade, injuries, whatever he's got going on with himself, he's trying. He might not be that all-around dude that you're used to seeing in the Gatorade commercials and Olympics and all that. No. Okay? He's becoming a part. We're not talking about the comeback season that Chris Bosh is having.
Right.
Or what Luol Deng is having, or Whiteside on the defensive side of the thing. And Goran Dragic, you know what I mean?
Winslow.
So Dwayne Wade is becoming a part.
Mm-hmm.
A part. And they're not really talking about that other guy like you thought they would be. They didn't really need him like that. They're already a good team. But shout out to Dwayne Wade, man. I hope he, can keep it going throughout the season, John. That's the thing. You want to keep your fingers crossed,
right,
and hope that he can last throughout the season. See him in March and April.
Right. All right. The Knicks are 10-11. They lost to the Milwaukee Bucks on Saturday, 106-91. Last week we talked about Melo. There was rumors about him that they want to trade him. Now there's news stories coming out saying that they want Melo and Porzingis to play along. Let's see how that's going to work. So the Knicks are in action tonight versus the Dallas Mavericks, and Porzingis is going up against his idol, Dirk Nowitzki.
Listen, I got my Knicks hat on right now. Shout out to the Knicks, 34th and 7th. That's what it is. My team, that's my team. I'm gonna claim that right now, live and on the air. All of that. The Knicks, they come back to earth a little bit, man, but they remain competitive, John. That's all I ask. Be competitive.
Mm-hmm.
I'm anxious to see how Porzingis is going to play in front of his quote unquote idol tonight. Okay. The people talking about trading Carmelo Anthony, that's a bunch of hooey, hogwash, bamboozlement. They try to lead you astray. They was never going to do nothing with Carmelo Anthony. People need to knock it off with this, prisoner of the moment type stuff. Oh, they're going to trade Carmelo Anthony because Porzingis is going to take over. Knock it off. Then who's going to be the veteran presence that they go to?
Right.
Who?
Carmelo.
So I don't, and John, because a lot of people might, feel me as an outcast because I don't speak to what they talk to. I look at it from a common sense perspective. Again, I've been watching this thing since the 70s, my dude.
Right.
And so I have a different outlook. I'm not getting caught up in the moment. Like I wasn't caught up in the moment when the Knicks were lighting the world up last month.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Y'all used to laugh at my team. Yeah, you too. You and your man back there, the producer dude. You and all of them used to laugh at my team.
Come on, man.
I don't miss nothing. I don't miss nothing. But you know what though, John, serious, real talk, man, I'm proud of my team, man. A lot of people, we used to laugh and stock in the league last year, man. We'd have butt everybody's jokes. Be respectable. You got to crawl before you walk, even though, you come back to earth a little bit lately, but you're being competitive. People not going to walk in the building and say, you know what? Oh, we got the Knicks tonight. That's an easy W.
No,
that's
not
happening no more.
Yeah, you're right.
Not at all.
Are you happy with Derek Fisher?
Am I happy with Derek Fisher?
Mm-hmm.
That's like asking me, was I happy with breakfast this morning?
That means yes, I guess.
I mean, you know what though? It hasn't come back to haunt me yet.
Yeah.
I'll say it like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like the breakfast hasn't run me to the bathroom or nothing yet. So I'm happy.
Is he an X and O's coach, or is he more of a motivator? What kind of coach is Derek Fisher?
You know what though, my dude? With a little bit more experience, I think, and what I mean by that is from the sideline experience, because he's got experience as being like a point guard is like a coach on the floor. We know that.
Right.
So he's got the experience as far as in-game situations. Now, being able to apply that from the suit and tie perspective,
mm-hmm.
he's got to put some more time in from that.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Because again, he's not going to be able to translate his thoughts into what happens on the floor unless he has that team and that component that he can truly trust. That's really an image of him. So we know how Derek Fisher, how he survived, how he rocked. He was all over the league. He stayed in the league, regardless of what he did or how he did it. He stayed in the league. He earned his head coaching spot. But right now, an X and O's type thing, I think that he's on his way to that, John, to answer your question. He's on his way to it. Not right now, but he's on his way.
He's been taught by one of the best, Phil Jackson.
Yeah, and you know what, though? Phil Jackson right now, I think he's feeling himself right now, John.
Yeah.
I think he's feeling himself right now. Porzingis is taking the pressure off of him.
Mm-hmm.
I think the trade Jeremy Grant, I think that's taking some pressure off of him.
Right.
Because a lot of people weren't happy with Tim Hardaway leaving. So, again, man, I'm proud of my team. I'm happy with the progress that's being made. A playoff spot, talk to me about that around the All-Star break.
You know it.
Because people are already up here going crazy, John.
Oh.
Already.
That's awesome, man. It's whenever the Knicks are doing good, it's good for the NBA.
Oh, yeah. Most definitely.
All right, one more, man.
Because, again, the office is right up the street from Madison Square Garden.
No doubt.
So, again, man, whatever the Knicks do that's on the positive side can make Adam Silver look like, okay, I didn't mess with the Knicks situation like my predecessor did with the Lakers, you know what I mean, preventing them from getting Chris Paul and all that. I left that alone. So Adam Silver is just letting the Knicks situation work itself out, basically. If you ask me, that's how it looks. They're letting it work itself out, and it's working itself out.
All right, your thoughts on Golden State 22-0. Last question before we let you go.
I really don't, know that nobody really talking about them, but the Warriors are really playing good, man. They're kind of flying under the radar, though. I think if there was more coverage from like maybe the home shopping network or the HGN network on how the Warriors are playing, because everybody's talking about them. They're doing well, man. They're doing great. If you want to impress me, John, I'm going to say this. Shout out to all the Golden State Warrior fans and all that. You want to impress me? Go to 50-0, and then we'll talk.
Oh, that would be very impressive.
Hey, you know what? They're almost halfway there, baby.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
But, yeah, man, everything is happening, man. I think that to beat the Warriors, you're going to have to catch them, like, in a 2-week slump. Because, again, Steph Curry doesn't have to have 40 points every night.
Right.
They'll have 25, 26, and they'll still win by 30.
Right. Klay Thompson had 21 yesterday.
That's right. Everybody's contributing. Everybody's being consistent. And let me say one thing about this, though. Let me say this before I get out of here. Luke Walton should have got some play as far as that coach of the month thing is concerned.
Yeah.
Okay. I think a great point was made by a colleague of ours, which remain nameless. He said that Luke Walton is getting props through Steve Kerr, who got props through Mark Jackson, and I tend to agree with that.
Yeah,
that's Mark Jackson's squad.
Well, yep. I heard that today.
So,
yep.
So to not acknowledge Luke Walton, because they could have put me and you.
Yeah.
Could have coached that team to 22-0.
Mm-hmm.
Me and you. Mm-hmm. And your producer guy back there.
He doesn't like basketball, Mayor.
Hey, but that just goes
22-0. He might learn to like basketball. 22-0. A team like that. Yeah, man. Shout out to the Warriors, man. They're doing their thing. John, thank you for having me, man. I definitely appreciate you, man. Can I let the people know where to catch me at?
Of course.
Listen, man, I'm the mayor, man. I'm in the building every Tuesday night, hard body karate, doing my thing, man. You know what I mean? I put in work. After Further Review 2.0, a.k.a. the Sideline Pass. That's the name of the show right there. We get heavily busy. I'm expecting to hear from my man John X real soon and his producer guy back there.
No doubt.
I'm expecting to hear from them dudes. We do it, man, from 8 to 10 every Tuesday night.
Give us the website.
The website is it's www.mixler.com. You can catch me on Twitter, left-handed. I definitely get back. I like the feedback and the back and forth. I love that. Catch us on Facebook. After Further Review is the name of the group. Come through and have some fun with us. Kick your game. Do what you do. The analytics. We like the analytical people because we like to shut the analytical people down. Because a dude tried to beat me in the head about Dwight Howard.
Yeah.
Please, are you serious? Don't do it to yourself. So if you're going to come to the show, bring your A game and leave the numbers at home. Just bring your opinions and bring your vibes, and we can rock out. John, thanks for having me, man.
I love your passion. I love your knowledge, man. We'll catch you next week, Mayor. And
You already know what it is, man. Shout out to you, man. Peace.
I'll tune in tomorrow. Peace.
No doubt, man. You better. And bring that producer guy back there.
I'll be there.
We'll talk. We'll talk, man. I'm out.
What's up, buddy?
Take care. All right, that was the Mayor from Mixer.com every Tuesday from 8 to 10. Catch him also on Facebook and Twitter at The Further Review. All right, we come back. We'll talk Dolphins, and I got some other things we want to talk about. So, Mikey Mike, take us into break, please.
Hey, I'm Giancarlo Stan, and you're on 24/7 Miami.
Season of Metal and Mayhem this fall right here on 247miami.tv. Follow me on Twitter at RealCraigCook to submit your requests and have all your feedback made fun of live on the air. Metal and Mayhem Fridays this fall, 247miami.tv.
You know why we pulled you over?
Was it because I was speeding?
No, it's because you weren't listening to the.
Tune in Thursdays at 8 p.m. on 24/7 Miami. This is Wilma Shakespeare, Anger,
and Disaster Chief
from Miami Vice City Rollers, inviting you to tune in to Ring Crash Radio on 247miami.tv. New shows every Saturday at 9 p.m. with encore replays Monday at noon and 10 p.m., Tuesdays at 10 a.m.
and Wednesdays at 10 a.m. and again at 10 p.m.
Find out everything you've ever wanted to know about roller derby in the 305. Get the 411 on the women's team,
the men's team,
and even the juniors. Rink Rash Radio. Rink Rash Radio.
Rink Rash Radio.
On 247miami.tv.
Diana Carolina te trae sabor de Miami, un show de entretenimiento desde noticias hasta un throwback Thursday. No te lo pierdas, una hora de calor y sabor. Aquí en 24/7 Miami.
Hi guys, I'm James.
I'm Adrian.
We've got some very exciting news about our upcoming show,
Cannon Fire.
What are we going to talk about, Adrian?
We're going to talk about everything science fiction.
So, movies?
Yes.
Video games?
Yes.
TV shows?
Checkmate on that.
Awesome. We're also going to be seen around our local comic book events. So you're going to see us at a lot of cons. Hopefully at some of the comic book shops around town.
Hopefully they be giving free stuff, and we'll let you know about it.
That'd be awesome. And we've also got some interviews lined up for you guys. So please remember to check us out on 247miami.tv.
And like us on Facebook.
It's time.
Oh yeah, it's that time of year. It's football season. You know what else that means? It's fantasy football season. Tune in every Tuesday at 9 p.m. for Fantasy Frauds, with replays starting at 5 on Wednesdays and Thursdays. You can only hear it here on 247miami.tv.
All right, the John Ed Show right here on 247miami.tv. Again, catch us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Just search, John Ed Show. Also, 247miami.tv on all your social media outlets. It's a great website, man. Louis Chacon is doing a great job. And you know who else is doing a good job? My producer, Mikey Mike.
Yay, finally. Yay.
We're getting better, man. Remember that first week? It was all messed up. We started late. We what else went wrong? We couldn't get the songs inside the next gen. What else went wrong?
I'm getting used to working in a fast-paced mode because I'm getting a better feel of things.
Good. I like to get you nervous. I was doing that before the show. I was getting nervous.
You were yelling in my ear.
I was yelling at him. Get the camera ready. Get this ready. Get that ready. I'm doing this to help you.
Yeah.
So you could get it on point, man. But I'm happy you're my producer, and I'm hoping that we could get into some bigger and better things. You never know. We might be superstars or something.
I need to watch. We need to watch other sports together because you know a lot more than I do.
Yeah.
About things.
But put my headphones down a little louder there if I could hear you nice. There you go.
There we go.
Nice and
Okay.
clear. But yeah, what were you saying?
I don't think my microphone picks up as good as yours. That's what I think.
Really?
Yeah, I can still barely hear myself. Do you hear me good?
I hear you very good.
All right.
Can you hear me good?
Yeah, I know.
But you can't hear yourself good, right?
Yeah, I don't know. It's kind of weird.
I can hear myself all right. I can hear you very good too. Maybe I don't know, the wires are messed up or something.
I don't know.
But happy to be here. Happy to be here. Good to see you too, man. Before we get to the Dolphins talk, Tiger Woods came out saying that he's not sure when he's going to come back.
Yeah.
Jesus. This is a man that's 39 years old. You know, the rumors were flying around saying that he was on steroids, and that's the reason why he's all broken up right now. But you know, there's nobody knows for as you know that it's true that he was on steroids. But let's hope he comes back. As you know, just like I said with the mayor, that when the Knicks are doing good, it's good for the NBA. When Tiger's doing good, it's good for golf. So hopefully the Tiger Man can come back soon. Greinke in the Major League Baseball gets $36 million a year from the Arizona Diamondbacks. Ooh. This is a pitcher, man.
Yep.
Getting $36 million a year. That's ridiculous.
Well, pitchers are important. You need pitchers and hitters.
Yep. And I got good news for soccer fans down here in Miami. It's not official yet, but looks like the Beckham Stadium deal is going to fall through. And instead of having it next to Mullins Park in Little Havana, they're going to have it in Overtown. There's a certain area west of I-95 there in Overtown where there's a land there where Beckham is looking to buy that land from the city, and hopefully they could build their soccer stadium there. And I love soccer. I'm going to get you into soccer, Mikey Mike.
Yeah. You need to get me into
everything.
Basketball, I
basketball should be fun for you, man.
I know.
It's fast paced.
I know, and that's
the only thing about
that's what would probably be my second favorite sport.
Yeah,
but I just need to be more attentive with it.
I think one of the things that you probably get, there's a lot of timeouts in basketball.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of timeouts. I wish they could get rid of some of the timeouts. They did it in college basketball. They got rid of some of the timeouts, but in the NBA, there's timeouts everywhere. But other than that, it's a great sport to watch. You know, women love basketball because it's fast paced. Mm-hmm. You know. It's not boring.
Easy to
like
understand.
Baseball. Yeah, it's easy to understand.
Put the ball in the hoop.
Exactly. Put the ball in the hole. If you know what I mean. Yeah, I'm gonna get you into baseball. I love baseball. Is my favorite sport. I know probably you probably if I take you to Mullins Park, you probably fall asleep.
No. I could watch it if we are at the game.
Yeah.
On TV, I cannot do it.
Okay.
But also, I mean, the Marlins, from what I know about them, don't even try to be competitive. And I heard they're gonna start looking to trade Jose Fernandez.
Yeah.
Before his arm falls off.
And nobody says anything. You know, nobody's coming out saying they're disgusted or they're protesting. You know, because that's what they do. They get rid of the great players. The only player that they kept was Giancarlo Stanton. They gave him so much money that it's going to be impossible to trade this guy if they ever try to trade him. But that's just the way that they do their business. But I don't pay attention to all that stuff. I'm a huge baseball fan, and the Marlins are my team, and so are the Cubs. So let's hope the Marlins head to the right direction with this new manager with Manning. Barry Bonds is now the new hitting coach there. So let's see what happens there. All right, Mikey Mike, break it down. I know you have a lot of opinions, thoughts, concerns about our Miami Dolphin team. Give us the good things that happened yesterday.
The good things that happened yesterday were that they finally ran the ball,
right?
Which is what Dan Campbell wanted to do this entire time he's taken over.
But you can't run the ball every time now. You got to throw the ball.
No. Yeah, you can't. I mean, you got to throw the ball here and there.
Right.
But what he wants to do is get, knowing that Tannehill is struggling this season, and from all the reports saying that Tannehill's football IQ is not great.
Mm-hmm.
He wants to help Tannehill by running the ball and making those third and short situations easier for Tannehill.
Yeah.
And that's what they did. I got the stats here. God damn it. Lamar Miller, they ran the ball yesterday, 27 rushes for 130 yards, and Miller had over 100 yards.
Right. Yeah, 113 on 20 carries.
Which creates first downs for the team, which allows the defense to actually get some rest instead of having the offense go 3 and out all the time.
Right.
And, when you help out the defense, they help you. I mean, bam, they got 2 turnovers. two balls get batted in the air. Rashad Jones gets one. Derek Shelby bats one in the air, catches it himself
For a
the pick
touchdown.
six.
Mhm.
And then Taney was pretty awful again.
Jesus.
Mary
Mary Joseph.
Even when things are going well, he was 9 for 19 with one touchdown. When what was that, 38 yard?
Oh, the 38-yarder Devontae Parker.
Yeah, which Parker made one
Oh,
sick
man.
catch. He went up and up and up and up into the air like Superman and just grabbed that ball and brought it down.
To be
I need to see more of that. I need to see more Devontae Parker.
To be real here, do you think that pass was a good pass? It kind of looked like it was going to be overthrown, but Devontae Parker's athleticism, he's 6'3", he jumped up and he freaking caught it. man.
I think it was more impressive on Parker's part than Tannehill's.
Good
part.
point. Yep. What else did you see, man?
He's lucky he was throwing to Devontae Parker on that one.
So you like the way they ran the ball. The defensive line was very good. They put a lot of pressure on Matt Schaub. They sacked him 3 times, I believe. A lot of tip balls. Jordan Phillips tipped the ball. Shelby, you mentioned the Shelby tip for the pick 6. I think Brent Grimes had a pretty good game. He covered pretty well.
Yeah, he was all right. I mean,
after being smoked by Watson and who was it? Brandon Marshall.
Brandon Marshall, yeah. But I mean, at the same time, I mean, you're dealing with a Ravens team that doesn't have their quarterback, doesn't have their running back, doesn't have
the receiver,
Steve Smith.
Yeah.
And they still struggled.
Yeah.
And and they're one of the worst secondaries in the league, and Tannehill still couldn't even pass for 100 yards.
We're talking about the good things here, Mikey.
Okay,
Mike.
I'm sorry.
I understand I understand your frustration.
I don't want to get the Dolphins fans out there too optimistic.
Yeah.
But I mean, they played well yesterday. I mean, just stick to the run, man. Stick to the run and let Tannehill do his thing off of that.
And we talked about this before the show started. I think the only positions in this team that doesn't need to be upgraded is the receiving core that they have.
Yeah.
With Jarvis Landry's great, Devontae Parker's great, Kenny Stills is good. We haven't seen a lot of Jennings for some reason.
Yeah.
Jordan Cameron, well, he's a tight end.
I think the Jennings experiment.
Rashard Matthews, I forgot about Rashard Matthews.
Oh yeah. I mean,
he's a beast.
Yeah, well, he's really good. But speculation is that he's going to be gone because he's going to be a free agent.
Yeah.
And someone else is going to pick him up. And with Greg Jennings, I think what happened in the beginning of the year is that when they were using him, he had a couple crucial drops, and they were just like, nope, we're done.
Right.
Rashad's playing better than you in practice anyway, so we're going to throw Rashad in there. And Rashad has been very, very productive.
And he was pissed off before the season started because he was pissed because they drafted Devontae Parker.
Yeah.
And then they kind of pissed because they lowered him in the depth charts during preseason or during training camp. And he wanted a trade. I think he was demanding a trade or something like that. But then he said, you know what, I'm gonna prove myself that I deserve to be one of the starters. And he did that.
Mm-hmm.
And Devontae Parker being hurt kind of helped him out too. But now that he's hurt, and you were saying this is his last year, I think if he comes back, and hopefully he does, I think he could finish the season out strong. And maybe I think it's a long shot the Dolphins do get him back, but I think other teams will be happy with him.
Yeah. I mean, I felt bad for Rashad in the beginning because once they signed Greg Jennings to that $4 million deal,
right?
Like he was automatically pushed down the depth chart, and I felt bad for him because the training camp before that he was balling, and they still barely used him that year.
Mm-hmm.
And then he's balling again in training camp, and then they signed this new guy, push him back down on the depth chart, and then all the Dolphins fans, when he was demanding a trade, all the Dolphins fans turned against him. They're like, oh, this guy's nothing, again, like bad mouthing Rashad. But hey, man, if I was Rashad, I would like to have a trade too, because you're working super hard and you're beating everybody in practice, and you're not even getting a shot.
Right.
But I mean, finally they came around to using him.
And he's been with the Dolphins longer than any of those guys. He's been there longer than Landry.
He was an Ireland pick.
Yeah. So that's a good point there, Mike. Put yourself in his shoes. You're there, and all of a sudden you see the Dolphins drafting Devontae Parker. Then they pick up in the free agent Jennings, and then Jarvis Landry got drafted by the last year from LSU, and so on. And you're like, what am I, dog meat here, you know.
Yeah.
So
Dog.
dog meat. There you go. But you know, think about going back to the point of positions that need to be upgraded. How about the defensive line? What do you think about the defensive line? Dominic and Sue, fine.
I think they're all right. I mean,
I think OV's going to get a big contract. This is his last year.
I don't know how big the contract's going to be, but you know he's very good. I think with Wake being hurt, they probably need another elite pass rusher. But I think the defensive line's okay, and I really think the offense is okay, except for the O-line and the quarterback. Unfortunately,
two important positions.
Yeah, but I think everything else. I think that they have good tight ends. I think you know the receivers are more than capable.
The DBs are kind of shaky.
Yeah, the DBs, they need new corners.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, they were raving about Bobby McCain in practice. And
Still need to see more of him.
Yeah, I know. But, I mean, he didn't look good yesterday either.
No.
He was getting burned just like Jamar Taylor was.
Yeah.
And then they had all this hype. Oh, you know, Bobby McCain's flashing in practice, and they're going to sit Jamar Taylor for him.
Safeties, and they need to be improved too. So
Yeah. I mean, Rashad Jones is a beast. That guy can play.
Well, he was doing the hula because he's going to the Pro Bowl.
Man. I hope so, man.
Yeah.
I hope so because I saw him in the beginning of the season because I went to the they held some sort of Dolphins and alumni signing in the offseason at the Nova Southeastern University. And my friend brought me there, and I asked Rashad if he was going to the Pro Bowl. He's like, "Oh, you know it."
He said that to you?
He knew.
Wow.
Yeah.
He's probably the
claimed
MVP.
it.
He's the MVP of the team, I think.
Yeah.
He's playing harder than anybody.
Yeah.
He's in every tackle. He's putting hard hits on people. He's playing very well, man.
Yeah, him, Rashad Jarvis, Lamar Miller, are set. Those are the three dogs on that team that keep it together.
Who'd you say, Lamar Miller?
Yeah, Lamar Miller, Jarvis
Landry, right?
Rashad Jones.
And Rashad Jones. Yeah. I wonder.
I would say Grimes, but he's not playing that well this year.
He's 32 years old, man. I think he's
and it's so weird too because I hate to say that it's age, but it's funny how, you know, he is kind of old, but he was kind of old last year, and he was balling. So it's funny how in like a short amount of months.
But the thing is, if you're not putting pressure on the quarterback, it's tough to cover somebody for so long.
Oh, and Sue, I forgot about Sue.
Yeah, it's tough to cover somebody for so long. You know, somebody's gonna bound to get open. So I don't know. I think we need to evaluate Brent Grimes at the end of the season. I know he is 32 years old. I'm not sure how many years he's left in his contract, but I don't know. I think he was exposed against the Jets with Brandon Marshall, and then against the Buffalo Bills, Sammy Watkins. These guys are like towering over him. They just throw the ball up and they were catching it over him. So
I mean, before I wouldn't you know, I wasn't that concerned because you saw it like in years past when he was on the team that he covered Julio Jones his first year here, you know, and then he covered Calvin Johnson. I don't know. I think it might be age, or maybe he's just dealing with a couple injuries that we don't know about.
Right.
But I think overall, God, I hate to sound optimistic about the Dolphins because I'm always so hard on them. But on the bright side, I think the problems that this team does have, they're easily fixable, because if you think, it shouldn't be too hard to find a couple cornerbacks, some linebackers, and offensive linemen. The hard part is finding that cornerback.
Okay.
A quarterback.
QB,
QB.
Yeah.
So I mean, those are the three major concerns. Is the linebackers aren't that great, and the cornerbacks are terrible, and the offensive line's pretty bad. But all they really need is guards, because they have tackles. I mean, I don't know. Brandon Albert's always injured.
He's hurt, and Juwan James has been hurt a lot too.
And Brandon Albert's kind of an old man too. He's been in the league 10+ years.
Yeah.
So they might need to look for another left tackle there.
I'm sure it was Tannenbaum's decision to give. Well, I know he had a big part in giving Tannehill that contract, that money they gave him. And I think it's gonna be tough to trade him. And I know we're frustrated here, and the something of the show was, can we trade Ryan Tannehill? But he is degressing, right?
Yeah.
Is that correct?
Regressing.
He's regressing. My bad. And I don't know. I don't see any upside on him. Tannenbaum's not going to trade him because that's his guy. He signed him to that contract. How bad would that look if you put yourself in Tannenbaum? So you just
Yeah, you just hired him. Like he hasn't
gave
been
him-
here a full year yet.
Yeah, you gave
You know
him
what I mean?
that much money, and you let him go.
Yeah.
So I think Tannehill's
Or
here
has he
for.
been here a full year? No, not yet.
Tannenbaum?
Like I think
I think a year and a
a
half.
couple more months.
Yeah. I think Tannehill's going to be here for quite a while, and I think we just got to hope. We got to hope and pray that we get a new coaching staff that comes in and coaches these guys the right way, especially Tannehill, and we'll go from there. All right, next week they got the Giants on Monday Night Football. Your thoughts about the Giants? They lost 3 in a row, and the game's down here, right? Is it in Miami or is it in New York?
Dude, I have no idea.
Well, look it
Like
up now.
I'm so numb with the Dolphins. I don't even care.
I'll tell you right
to
now.
know what,
I think it's in
what
Miami.
game's next or where.
I think the Miami schedule favors them at the end of the season. They were talking about how tough it was going to be in the beginning, but at the end they had a lot of home games. I'm looking at it right now. Let's see here, Miami Dolphins. Wow, I remember in the beginning of the season
they have a chance.
We looked at.
They have
I
a
think the
chance
over
in this
under. When me and Troy Hall, we picked the Dolphins to be. I think we had them at 10 wins, man.
Yeah, that was when they were looking good.
No, before the season started. On paper.
Before the season started. Yeah, they look great. I put them in the 9, 10 range too.
December 14th, Monday Night Football here in Miami versus the New York Giants. Giants are coming into Miami with a 3-game losing streak, and they lost a big one yesterday against the New York Jets.
Yeah, they could have won it too.
Conference-
And I really wanted the Giants to win because the Dolphins, even as bad as the season's been, they're still in the hunt.
Yeah, mathematically
And-
they're still in the hunt.
Yeah, mathematically.
And look at the schedule, Mikey
if
Mike.
If the Jets lost, they would have been that much closer.
Yep. And look at the schedule, Mike. New York, it's a winnable game. San Diego, San Diego,
that's a bad team too.
That's a winnable game.
And their defense. The great thing about that is that the Giants defense is pretty bad, and the San Diego Chargers defense is bad.
The Colts here in Miami.
Yeah, that's another bad team.
And then they finished the season off with New England. And New England could be like not even playing Tom Brady in that game. They could be already, won that division.
Oh, it's time for Campbell to shine.
So are we hoping for? We're hoping for to run the table here, Mikey Mike.
Yeah.
New York, San Diego, Indianapolis, and the New England Patriots.
I really like Dan Campbell as a head coach. Like I think he knows what he's doing. I don't know how smart he is X's and O's wise, but I think if he hires the coordinators that he likes, I think this team could be pretty good.
So you want Campbell to stay?
I mean, unless it's Sean Payton, probably. But I mean, if it comes down to like lesser known coaches, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like I would just stick with Campbell because I think he knows what he's doing and he knows the weaknesses of this team and how to improve it.
I don't know enough of him yet. I know he's a great motivator. That's all I know.
Mhm.
And I know that he's and it's obvious that he made mistakes and then again, they just threw him in there. He's going to make mistakes.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It depends who's available. If Sean Payton's available, we got to go with Sean Payton.
Yeah.
And there's going to be a lot of coaches available, I think. There's going to be coaches from college that are going to be available, and there's going to be coaches in the NFL, like Jeff Fisher.
Yeah. I mean, the great thing is the Dolphins have a chance these next like 3 games.
Right. Yeah, I agree. So let's see if they can finish the season out strong. All right, Mike, thanks for doing a great job on the board, producing the show. And thanks to Louis Chacon, who is the man who runs 247miami.tv. Go on that website. It's a great website. There's a lot of different shows. There's a lot of good articles. There's great pictures of things that are going on in Miami, like Art Basel. Is Art Basel or Art Basel?
I think it's Basil. Basil? I have no idea. I don't care to go down there. It's too hip hop and trendy.
Somebody got stabbed over. Did you hear that? Some lady got stabbed at some art gallery thing.
That's the thing. Whenever they host these events, there's either some sort of gun shooting or stabbing.
Yeah.
It's like, why would I even want to go?
Just give me TVs and Flanagan's, and I'm
I know,
good, right?
man.
Next time before the show, we'll go to Flanagan's next week. Deal?
Oh, well, why can't we go this week?
Well, I don't know. I have like Christmas shopping.
Christmas shopping.
Yeah, kids and all that stuff.
All
but I'm saying we'll go 2 hours before the show starts. We'll meet at Flanagan's.
We'll get
let's meet at Flanagan's at 12 o'clock.
All right, sure. Mahi sandwich and stuff.
Whatever you want. It's
That's
on me.
what I want.
It's on.
No.
It's on me.
I'll pay for my food.
No, you're doing a good job. All right, man. Let's get the hell out of here. Go Dolphins. Go Heat. The Heat are in action tonight against the Washington Wizards. That's at 7:30. And also Monday Night Football. We got who do we got? We got the Dallas. No, I'm sorry. We got Yeah, the Dallas Cowboys against the Washington Redskins. The Redskins.
Oh, by the way,
Yeah, go ahead.
I don't know this guy that I'm playing against is on FanDuel. He either has the Redskins defense or the Cowboys defense. I don't know because it doesn't show me yet until the game starts. So I can't let either of those defenses get like 8 points. Otherwise, I don't win $40.
8 points?
Yeah, because I'm beating them by 8.
Well, points fantasy points.
Fantasy points.
Not points that they
Yeah,
score.
yeah,
Okay.
Fantasy points.
I think it's gonna be a low scoring game.
I hope so too, and I hope both those defenses do crappy because
Cowboys can't score.
Yeah, exactly.
The Redskins can
So I
score
have a chance.
sometimes.
I have a chance.
You have a
I want
chance.
to win my $40.
I'm rooting for you, Bubs. All right. This is the John Ed Show on 247miami.tv. Thanks for logging on and tuning in. Thanks. Peace.
Thanks, guys.